Russell Crowe wanted to film some bats flying around the botanical gardens near his home, so he and a friend set up a camera in his private office to do so, and as things can happen from time to time, he captured something strange, a UFO. And since we all know that this stands for unidentified flying object, we can assume that a UFO is what this is. But to understand exactly what this is, we need to look at the information in total. First of all, this is said to be time-lapse, but it's not time-lapse at all. This is a time-lapse video, taking a video and compressing time so that it runs faster. What Russell has is more like this, a timed exposure. At night, a single set of bright taillights can look like a long red ribbon along a roadway. This is because it just took so darn long for the photo to be taken. If you leave a shutter open for several seconds, there's just no telling what you may capture streaking across the image. Even in daylight, timed exposures can reveal the movements of people that seem to turn into ghosts, as only a small portion of their image is captured as they move along, leaving a trail of themselves behind. This is important when it comes to this video because that is exactly what's happened here. No, it's not Photoshop. This happened during the taking of the photographs. 3 photographs to be exact, and I imagine 3 of many, since they more than likely set the camera to automatically take photos at intervals of a few seconds apart. Another important thing to look at is distance. In this case, the area of the park is nearly a half mile from Russell's apartment, and not right outside his window as some may think. I'll show that later, but for right now, and keeping this in mind, the scene does look quite close. The reason is because he's using a telephoto lens to bring it in. The thing about telephoto lenses, though, is that it compresses distance. And herein lies another 1/3 of the equation. The first is that it's a timed exposure. The second is that it's telephoto lens. The third part of the equation is location or viewpoint. The park and gardens are here. Russell's place is on the finger pier here, and that leaves a lot of room for something to pass between the 2 locations, and we know that the light is in between because the last photo shows it on this side of the tree. The park is high up on a hill, so Russell's view is looking slightly up towards the area. I was a little surprised that Russell didn't recognize what the UFO actually was, but then again it does look a little strange when subjected to photographic trickery. But the truth is, he sees this every day, right outside his window, coming and going from the marina. As it turned out, he should have referred to it as a UFO, as in unidentified floating object. It's a little hard to see, but this is a piece of rigging called a mainstay, a large sturdy line running from the mainmast to the bow of a sailboat. You may note the ghostly trailing of the stay as it moves along from right to left, and the reflection of the running light on it. The mainmast also looks nearly invisible as it moves along, and the same goes for the aft mast. The lights are very bright, though, and easily captured by the camera, and they elongate just as a car's taillight would do. The bow is to our left as it passes, which means we're looking at the left or port side of the boat. The masthead light at the top correctly shows red. It's green on the starboard side, and if we could see that, then the boat would have been leaving and heading in the opposite direction. It looks quite large because it's a lot closer than the park and is being viewed through a telephoto lens. That's right, it's a sailboat.
Team Taser approved!